and YouTube's anti-conspiracy software was quick to kick into gear. The text boxes were introduced to YouTube last year as a new tool that would lead to a cessation of fake news videos going viral on the platform. A police officer from the Bossier City, Louisiana Police Department was arrested in December for filming unspeakable acts with animals. 38-year-old Terry Yetman was charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse of animals, producing the evidence himself, including filming sex with his own police canine. Now, the decorated cop has also been charged with 31 counts of child pornography. The Free Thought Project over the weekend learned that Yetman, who had only been out on bail for 2 days for the 40 counts of animal abuse charges, was taken into custody again and charged with 31 counts of possession of pornography involving juveniles. According to WAFB, Yetman's bond is currently set at $620,000. Additional charges could be filed. According to the Louisiana State Police, Yetman was originally arrested on December 19th and charged with 20 counts of sexual abuse of animals by performing sexual acts with an animal, and 20 counts of filming sexual acts with an animal. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Captain Actual America is overweight and hopelessly in debt, and the Richie Rich comic strip introduces a new, even gayer character. As if you needed another reason to remain in your isolated and socially degenerative cocoon, this is the Onion Week in Review, Comics Edition. Sources confirmed Tuesday that the Comic Book and Sci-Fi Expo Comic-Con was once again marred by BullyCon, an increasingly popular event held in the same convention space. Now in its 5th year, BullyCon reportedly drew more than 125,000 tormentors from across the nation, all of whom were bent on beating up and torturing those attending the many comic book, television, and movie panels at Comic-Con.
When this got started, it was just a couple of friends who wanted to beat the shit out of some Joss Whedon fans, but now there are thousands of us, ruining Walking Dead panels, taunting Harry Potter nerds, and really making some video gamers' lives completely miserable. I don't necessarily need to travel to San Diego to slap a copy of Spider-Man out of some pussy's hands, but something really special about coming together with people who dig the same sort of cruelty you do.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, and you're invited to join us here. Take control of the airwaves via our toll-free number, which is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, so jump into one of those if you want to sound like you're sitting here in the studio with us. And in that studio with you, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
And as I said, you can bring up whatever you want. Laurel, we're starting tonight with a surprising decision by somebody at the IMF. Now, I don't know a whole lot about the story, but you did tell me briefly beforehand that people who kind of know what to expect from this organization might be surprised by what they said. Let's get into it.
Okay, well, this is an article from NPR entitled, "A Guardian of Global Capitalism Warns Capitalism Has a Problem." Okay, so right off the bat, we're thinking they're anti-capitalist. What is this? So I'm actually going to skip the first two paragraphs because they're not very interesting.
Okay, thank you for that.
So we start on the third paragraph. Wendy Chen, an economist in the IMF's research department, presented the findings of an impressive study that can be found in Chapter 2 of the IMF's World Economic Outlook.
That's the International Monetary Fund.
Yes.
This is like a monster kind of bureaucratic banking.
If you're anti-globalist, you do not like the IMF.
Okay.
Yeah, they lend money to third world countries.
Evildoers.
And then when those third world countries can't pay it back, then the IMF makes arrangements with them.
They take collateral, right?
In exchange for that country doing what the IMF says.
Right.
So it's how they take control of
There's a book written by a guy, what was it called? Confessions of an Economic Hitman. A lot of people talk about where he was involved in that kind of business, if you want to call it that.
Right. So going on, Chen gave us the sense that something fundamental in the economy has changed and that capitalism may be going haywire. The reason? Companies are getting too powerful. Yeah, I think we've heard this line from a number of Democratic candidates for president.
Well, they may not be wrong necessarily. I mean, there are some mega corporations out there with mega influence in government and mega protection from their buddies in government. And it's not a left or right problem because these corporations give money to all of them.
But you see this as a problem if you think that government is ever the solution, right? So
instead of looking at government as another corporation.
Well, right. Or that government is ruining capitalism, not capitalism is the problem. You know? It's the government part that is causing the issues.
So there's an example that she provides. So Chen began her talk with a personal story. In 2016, Chen's 6-month-old daughter, Lily, suffered a severe allergic reaction from eating dairy. Shouldn't be eating dairy at 6 months. Anyway, Lily is okay now, but Chen and her spouse now carry EpiPens in case Lily has another attack. The first time Chen bought the epinephrine device, she was outraged by the cost, more than $600 for a 2-pack. It has been widely reported the company had raised their price 500% since 2009. Whew. Just as an aside, you don't need an EpiPen to get the effects. You can go get epinephrine and just inject it. You don't need and it's like $15. But people don't want to do that. The EpiPen is easier to use and insurance covers it. Anyway, the EpiPen pricing tale provides an extreme example of what economists call a price markup, which is when a company charges a price for something that is higher than the cost of producing it. Isn't that everything?
That's how you do business.
That's how you make money.
If you don't do that, you go out of business eventually.
Right. In the fairy tale version of capitalism, competition takes away the power of companies to mark up their prices. No, it doesn't.
So this is an editorial piece by NPR in this case.
Yep.
I mean, of course, they can pepper their news with editorial comments. Maybe that's what it is as well. But no, I mean, competition does bring prices down.
But if there's no profit in that industry, you change industries.
Yeah.
So
profit's a signal to people. Like if there's a lot of profit being made, then that's a signal to other people saying, hey, there's a whole opportunity over here. There's profit to be made. Come on in.
And then
then if enough people come in, the profits go down, but they should still be making a profit. Otherwise, they're doing something wrong with their company. And then when profits go down enough, then it won't be as attractive to other people to come in and kind of shake up the marketplace. Although every now and then you'll see some disruptors come in, like Uber or Lyft that come into an established marketplace,
and then the government tries to stop them.
Well, yeah,
or rather, the other businesses get the government to stop.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. In the fairy tale version of capitalism, competition takes away the power of companies to mark up their prices and forces them to sell their products at the price it costs to make them. Again, not true.
When has that ever happened?
True.
The only time that's ever happened is like as a loss leader kind of item, like Christmas time, you get the Black Friday sales, and it's like this deal is too good to be true kind of pricing. In a lot of cases, they may be selling it for cost or perhaps even slightly below cost
to get you in the store
in order to get you through the doors. But guaranteed the rest of the store is, normal price or a few sale items, but they're not doing that on every item in the store. It's just, the 33-inch TV or whatever it is that they've picked as what they call the loss leader. And there's a name for that too, NPR. Loss leader. It means they're taking a loss.
Right. Chen and colleagues recently studied the price markups of a jaw-dropping number of companies, almost 1 million across 27 countries. It should really be all of them. They found that market power is growing, especially in advanced countries, where companies increased their markups by an average of 8% between 2000 and 2015. I guess they already have markups, but they're increasing those markups by 8%. It doesn't sound like an incredible increase to me. Well, it's actually less than inflation, because inflation should be about 3% per year, and this is 8% over a period of 15 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, the increase in market power has occurred in a wide range of industries, from tech to pharmaceuticals to energy to finance. What is really remarkable here is that we find it's a small fraction of firms within every industry that's really driving this increase in market power, Chen said. These top-tier firms increased their markups by over 30% over the last couple decades. Again, compared
the only
to
time
inflation,
you can increase your markup like that is if you have like a guaranteed market being made for you by the government. Because if you are in a situation where, let's say, you have a government-granted monopoly, you are the power company, you're the cable company, or something like that. If there's truly no other competitor in the marketplace and the government prevents other competitors from coming in, then there really isn't anything stopping you beyond, a protest and people throwing themselves into your gears. There's really nothing stopping you from raising the price. Also, similarly, if you're in an oligopoly situation where the government restricts the marketplace to only so many players, a very limited number of them, then to some extent they could cartelize and they could agree to raise prices together, presuming one of the companies doesn't break the cartel and drop their prices back down. So under those circumstances where they have the coercive state in their pocket, basically, to be able to restrict competition, only then would you really see crazy markups like you're talking about, like 33%. Because if you mark something up 8%, and my product is just as good and it's still down at the old price, well, then, I'm going to get some of your business. So, in an open marketplace, what you're talking about just doesn't make any sense. And it's not probably an open marketplace. They're probably talking about mega companies that have government protections.
Right. But then also some of the tech companies that are really making the most money aren't selling anything directly to the end user. They're selling advertising. Like Google doesn't cost me anything to use it.
Well, we sell advertising too.
Except my personal information,
Sure.
Same thing with Facebook and stuff. So anyway, moving on. This is about more than just consumers having to pay more at the store. The IMF's economists connect rising market power to a range of worrisome trends in the overall economy. Lackluster business investment, sluggish productivity growth, declining innovation, and increasing inequality. They estimate that if price markups had remained at their 2000 levels, GDP in the average advanced country would be about 1% higher. If market power is not kept in check, these negative impacts might actually worsen.
This is a new term for me. I've never heard market power before. And I'm curious to know what their definition is, or what the definition is of so-called market power. How do you get market power? What does it have to do? What are the factors that they're considering here? 855-450-FREE is the number. 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The Free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. Themorganreport.com. Themorganreport.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISSparis.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves here. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. And I want you to know about ForkFest 2019. You can join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians. Coming up this summer, it's June 13th through the 18th. I heard recently that Ernest Hancock from Declare Your Independence is very excited about promoting ForkFest 2019. There's a lot more buzz about the event this year. A lot of people are talking in the ForkFest Telegram chat room, which you can get access to over at forkfest.party. Just had Taryn Lupo. Longtime listeners will remember Taryn's name as sometime co-host and infrequent guest here on Free Talk Live. He sounds like he's pretty jazzed up. Was talking about making a video promotion for ForkFest, and he just joined the ForkFest forum earlier today. So if you haven't hopped on over there, you can do that. And the ForkFest forum is also the same forum that's it's got the Free Talk Live forum on it as well. So just head over to forkfest.party and get connected there with other Forkfesters. It's a decentralized libertarian camping event, meaning that there's no board of directors, there's no single person who's in charge of the event. That means there's no tickets. So you don't have to pay for tickets to go to this event. You just have to, get your campground or your campsite or RV site. There's also a motel on the property as well. So whatever it is that you want to stay in, just get in touch with the folks at Rogers Campground. It's a beautiful location there in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. June 13th through the 18th. Go to forkfest.party as we go to your calls and thoughts. We got more on this IMF story that Laurel's sharing with us about these market powerful corporations. And Johnson, you and I both went to look this one up, so we'll get into what's the definition of market power coming up here. But Dave is in New Hampshire, and Dave, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead. Dave? In New Hampshire. Dave going once. Dave going twice. Maybe we'll check back. There might be some technical difficulties there on our network side. So before we get back into the story, Johnson, do you have it pulled up? If not, I've got it here.
No.
Okay, so according to OECD.org, I'm not sure what that stands for, but it's the first thing that comes up when you Google market power. Definition: market power refers to the ability of a firm or a group of firms to raise and maintain price above the level that would prevail under competition that is referred to as market or monopoly power. Now, isn't it interesting that NPR didn't use the more accurate term in this case, which is monopoly power? These are things, as I pointed out, without ever having heard the term before, like, that's only possible. What you were describing, Laurel, in this article from NPR about they're complaining about these big corporations with all this market power. They're raising their prices 8%, 30, I think, 33%.
Yeah, they said 1 million in 27 countries. They can't have 1 million monopolies in 27 countries. They were complaining 8% over a period of 15 years, and then 30%.
Not all monopolies, right?
You should know
oligopolies.
You should know about the OECD, though. It's a massive organization. So the OECD is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development.
Okay.
It is basically all the first world countries are members of this massive kind of organization for, I guess, trade.
Okay, gotcha. So
it's
U.S., France, U.K.,
it's actually headquartered in Paris, is the OECD. So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to continue here. Your calls and thoughts are welcome. Our number is 855-450-FREE. So clearly, market power is a measurement of how protected a market actor is. I mean, you shouldn't even really call them a market actor because they're working in a closed market. They're certainly not a free market actor. They're not even a low regulation market. These are highly regulated marketplaces where the number of competitors is extremely limited, and that's the only reason why these things are possible.
The IMF actually agrees with you.
All right.
But we'll get to that in a minute. As for why, continuing with the article, as for why we're seeing a rising tide of market power, the IMF doesn't have solid answers. The fact that it's occurring in virtually every industry across the developed world, and I thought that was interesting, virtually every industry across the developed world suggests it may be broad technological changes that reward winning. One driver may be network effects, which makes a service get even better as more people use it and thus harder to compete against. As an example
Facebook is a classic example.
Well, this has the example as Google with billions of searches a day, each one making the next work a little better. So their computers learn. So the more you use it, the better it gets. Google's self-reinforcing popularity has become a moat filled with sharks for competitors.
Right?
Yeah,
like
Google.
It's become Google. And I use it, and I bet a lot of other people are using that.
I try not to, but Bing just isn't as good. I'm sorry, Bing. Get better. I want to use you.
Well, there are some alternatives that don't have, the big mega corporations behind them.
DuckDuckGo, StartPage.net.
Right. These are two that, they cut a piggyback off of Google, from what I understand, but they make it so you're searching anonymously, or at least as much as anonymous as you can get through a.
I've given up on any of them being good.
Really?
Yeah, they've never,
They're just not returning the results like Google does?
Oh, yeah. I've never found a search engine that even comes close.
Wow.
Personally, from my personal opinion. I don't know.
So even the ones that are using Google's data are somehow manipulating the results in a way that makes it undesirable for you?
Or not manipulating the results, because I go ahead and I use all the things like, privacy is being violated. Yeah. To personalize my search results.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's actually pretty convenient. Look, we are in this, to some extent, we're in the age of a loss of privacy. It's, been going on for a couple of decades now here, pretty steady. And Johnson's absolutely right. There are some benefits to getting rid of your privacy. I'm not saying people should get rid of their privacy, but it's getting harder now to be as private as you can
There's
be.
a fantastic book that's a play on words of the old Howard Stern movie, Private Parts. This book is by author Jeff Jarvis, who's been covering kind of technology and some of these issues for quite a long time, named Public Parts. And, it's basically a book about the benefits of being more public online. And it kind of catalogs one of the issues that he catalogs in there is he had prostate cancer and went public about it online and basically started self-documenting the entire process of what it's like to go through that. And, that's a pretty personal issue.
Sure it is.
So, he went and all the benefits that he gained from doing that because...
what
people
were
able to share experiences and talk to him and give him medical information and, all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't
He was able
get.
to make connections that he otherwise wouldn't have. And, also on the Google aspect that you were talking about, I use the Google Mail program for the Free Talk Live mail. When you send mail to us at freetalklive.com, it's going through Google, and you log in through Gmail, and they've got hosted mail there. So they are now completing my sentences for me.
Oh,
well,
creepy.
Right.
Creepy.
If you want them to.
If you want them to.
Google's your girlfriend.
If you want them to. As you're typing now on Google's mail service, and I don't know if they've rolled this out to everybody.
Good? I find it to be everybody I hear, everybody. I read online by a lot of like tech bloggers and whatnot. They're like, it's so amazing. It does such a good job.
It's not
For
that
me,
smart
it's
yet.
been terrible.
It's not that smart yet.
No, it's like utterly terrible.
But sometimes it gets it right. Like sometimes it's what I was going to say, and then all I have to do is hit tab, and it just fills in the rest of the line for me.
It'll get a word or two right for me occasionally. It never gets a sentence right.
I'm sure it has funny suggestions.
There's more on the way. No, I haven't laughed at it, really. Maybe laughed at how inept it's been, but it's a start, Johnson.
Yeah.
855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-37.
Marty had a start, too.
33. That's completely.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature.
I didn't even know what to say to that.
Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you afraid to go to the mailbox because of letter after letter from the IRS? Are they stacking on more and more penalties and interest? By now, you know the problem won't go away on its own. Don't let the IRS chase you to your grave with penalties and interest and liens and levies. You need real help now. I'm Dan Pilla. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I help thousands of people solve tax problems they thought couldn't be solved. I can help you too. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com. danpilla.com.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you you can go this way? You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up what you want right here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. Head over to discord.lrn.fm and jump into one of those, and then you'll sound almost like you're sitting here in the studio with us, including me, Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
And thanks to Ben Riley, by the way, who is a Free Talk Live Silver Amplifier. That means Ben gives $5 a month to our AMP program. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And the idea is you send $5 a month in, we take that and invest it into Free Talk Live so we can get on more radio stations around the country, bring new internet listeners on board with the show, and expose new people to the ideas of freedom. So if you like what we do here, then please join the AMP program. You can use PayPal, credit card, or Bitcoin BTC at amp.freetalklive.com. You'll get some cool perks as well. We're going to try Dave in New Hampshire one more time. I'm told that he is there now and that everything should be working. Dave, are you with us?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We've talked a few times over the years about Croydon, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's a small town where there was a Supreme Court case that what did the court decide in that case? That there had to be some kind of like guarantee of education by the government?
No, it was more like they were legitimizing the effort to sort of do school choice.
Oh, okay. It was actually a good case because there was one Supreme Court case that said that the government basically had to provide some kind of education. So Croydon kind of gave some level of school choice?
Yeah. There's a Free Stater who is the chair of the school board there, and I think has been off and on for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was probably part of making it so that the kids, in that district could, or at least in Croydon, could choose their school. They can choose, I think, pretty much any school. It's not a religious school, and so that has resulted in I guess a couple things have happened. First of all, people have started, apparently, according to the regional paper, they've started flooding to move there.
Oh, awesome!
They're starting. It's like Adam Smith used to say, number one indicator of a successful society is an increase in population.
Now, when you say people, do you mean like Free Staters, libertarian
people
migration people, or
no,
just any old people?
People with kids. They want to bring their kids to live in a place like that where they can choose their school.
But I thought that that was true for a lot of New Hampshire. It's just Croydon?
I don't know. I think Croydon may be a little bit of a special case. Partly again because they've got a libertarian on the running the school, or not running, but chairing the school board.
Gotcha.
And I guess it was like a class or something that they shot up from 45 students. Not a class. I'm sorry. 5 through 12 grades. I guess it was 5 through 12 grade have gone from 45 students to 60 students.
Jeez, that's a lot of kids in a class.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that you would want to necessarily get excited to move somewhere because of government schools. Are you saying it's government school classrooms that have 60 students in a class?
Well, I don't know about that. I just know that if you're there, you have some degree of school choice.
Mm-hmm. See, what I had heard, Dave, and it's too bad none of us. I mean, Laurel, you've got kids, but they're already mostly grown up.
Yeah.
In private school, etc. But it's too bad we don't have somebody who's a little more knowledgeable on this, because my understanding is some of the Democrats in New Hampshire are very upset because there's some sort of program in New Hampshire that allows parents to do what you're talking about, is use some sort of allocation of funds to send, like you were saying, a kid to a non-religious school, a private school. But again, I'm the last person to ask about this. I just kind of hear things through the grapevine. So maybe somebody out there who knows a little bit more about it can call in.
There is something going on at the state level, and there was a Supreme Court hearing over that. I don't know if there was a Supreme Court hearing on Croydon or not. Actually, it may have been over just a statewide issue.
Do you know when that Supreme Court hearing was? Was there a decision, or is it just being reviewed now?
There was one that I attended about 5 years ago, but it's been back before the court since then, and I don't really know exactly where it stands.
You
right
attended? You mean you went to Washington to watch?
No, he's talking about New Hampshire Supreme Court.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah. Dave, thanks for bringing that up tonight. I don't know what else we can say about it.
One other thing, am I still on?
Hello? Yeah, you're here. Like I said, I don't know what else we can say about it. So go ahead.
Yeah, there's one other thing that was interesting. I guess there's an issue. There's now become an issue with keeping houses on the market. Houses are apparently getting sold as soon as they're put on the market in Croydon.
Okay. Thank you for the call tonight, Dave. I appreciate it.
People like to have the power to make their own decisions. How about that?
Right.
Yeah. Well, what would be nice if all these parents moving into the one place would actually protest together and just refuse to pay the money to the state in the first place. Then what are they going to do?
Wait a minute, though. You said people like making their own decisions. That's not necessarily true. Apparently, if you're a Democrat, you like to be told what to do and by a bureaucrat that maybe you choose, maybe you don't.
What are you referring to?
I'm referring to the fact that these Democrats want to take people's choices away. It's not, they're the ones who are against the free choice in this particular instance.
Or how about this? The ones who are voting that way, the choice is that they want to send their kids to public school. So it's not that they don't want to be able to make a choice. It's just that they've made their choice and they want everybody to have their choice.
But it's not like Johnson. It's not like the Republicans are leading some charge to get the government out of education. No, they all believe most of them.
Yeah, I think
a little bit. Not a huge charge, but a little bit.
I mean, tweaking at the edges of this massive system, just for people that don't know.
Poorly, There were these threats, right, that Betsy DeVos was going to do this, right?
This is at the national level.
This is at the national level that we were going to suddenly see this huge influx of school choice.
She's a homeschooling mom, so she's going to destroy the national education.
But the massive cowardice on the part of these people to actually get anything done, so... Yeah.
I have really mixed feelings about Betsy DeVos doing it because I like that it would be happening, that we would be increasing school choice. I don't like that the federal government is telling the states what to do. So I have such mixed feelings.
Has anything like that happened?
What do you mean?
At the national level?
She's been trying, but no, she has had very little success. I know
when
she
you
got rid
say
of
she's
Title
been
IX.
trying, what does that mean?
She's been pushing school choice, and she's been talking about it.
But she can't do anything without Congress?
She really can't. Well, there's not that much that the federal government can do because so much of education is in the hands of the state. So there's things where there can be...
but the feds, one of the big complaints used to be that the feds would give 6% of the funding to state governments for schools, but control 90% of the decisions.
Right.
So, I mean, that's my understanding of what it was like. I don't think that's changed in any way, shape, or form under Betsy DeVos. And so, I mean, just this whole idea that some personality is going to come into bureaucracy and completely reform it, or even do anything more than just barely scratch the surface, is pure fantasy.
I agree. However, it's still good to have somebody saying, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think public school is the end all be all. I think maybe there's something else.
School.
Right, government school, that there may be something better. It's good to have more people saying it and more people of authority. Like the more people, well, not that we like authority, but the more people who are saying it, the better.
Yeah, I don't believe in authority personally. These are just men with guns who are willing to force their way on people, which is why I say, it's a dream to imagine what would happen if you had a dozen families who basically said, yeah, we're just not going to pay for the government schools. We'll go ahead and homeschool our kids or unschool them. We're going to pull them out. And here in Keene, where we're doing the show, this is the southwestern corner of New Hampshire, the property taxes are roughly 70% are for education.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
I mean, that's insane. So we're talking about on a house like this, which is about a $200,000 house at the value that it was purchased at. You're looking at $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year in taxes on that. So, do the math. 70% out of $8,000 in taxes is a huge chunk of change that every parent could, really do something with. And if that money was actually being spent in a marketplace for education, then the kids would get better educations, way better than they would from the government schools.
In a minute, I have a pretty quick story about the police and school and my kids.
Oh, boy. All right. More coming up here. Your calls and thoughts, welcome, whether it's on schools or privacy or whatever you want to discuss. This is Free Talk Live. And more on deregulation, too.
Yes.
Still to come.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event. Even with coupon code FTL50. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTL50 for a discount.
And now, a quick comparison from Grasshopper. When you're always on the go, what would you prefer? An office phone system?
Hey, it's Rochelle. Sorry I missed you earlier. Had an errand to run, but I'm back in the office, so give me a call when you get this.
Or one that works on your cell phone? No hardware needed, courtesy of Grasshopper.
Oh, one sec. It's a business call. Hi, this is Rochelle with Way Forward Partners. How can I help?
There's no contest. Put your best voice forward with Grasshopper, the virtual phone system for small business. Try it free at grasshopper.com.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
The future of printing is here, and so are the savings.
The reinvented HP OfficeJet Pro printers are now at Staples.
They're smart, mobile, and secure.
So you can easily print, scan, and copy remotely from your mobile device.
And now at Staples, save up to 20% on the all-new HP OfficeJet Pro printers.
Plus, save up to $50 more in store when you trade in your old printer.
Staples, there's a whole lot in store.
Ends 5/4/19. See store or staples.com/HP OfficeJet Pro to learn more.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically 2 types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here and take control of the airwaves. We've been talking about the economy and this propaganda piece in the NPR that you've been sharing with us, Laura. We're going to get back into that story. Of course, your calls and thoughts are welcome, and you can bring up whatever you want. We ended up talking about education as well. I know you've got a story that you wanted to share with us. 855-450-FREE is our toll-free number. It's 855-450-3733. And Bitcoin.com is your premier source for everything Bitcoin Cash related. Bitcoin.com can help you choose a Bitcoin Cash wallet, buy some Bitcoin Cash, and even show you where you can spend your Bitcoin Cash. You can read the latest news or engage with the community on the Bitcoin forum over at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com as we continue here. So we were talking about alternatives to government education, and we talked about private schools, government schools, so you had a story.
Yeah, my daughter was, she was in public school for a little while. She was in public school from kindergarten to the 5th grade, I think. So around maybe 3rd grade, I was pulling the kids out of school for a week to go to Disney World. And so I informed the principal of the school, I'm taking my daughter out for a week. We're going to go to Disney World. And the principal told me that I was not allowed to do that. So what do you mean? Well,
She's not your daughter.
You know, well, the principal said, that's not an excused absence. Family. And I said, but it's a family vacation. I'm taking her out. She's not just, not showing up. And you allow up to 10 absences a year. So this will be 5. She's fine. She hasn't missed too many classes. And she said, but it's not an excused absence, so you can't do it. I said, what do you mean I can't do it? I mean, if you do this, I will refer you over to the police.
Wow.
And they will give you a citation.
Just coming right out with it.
Yeah. She said after 3 days, you'll get a citation. On the 4th or 5th day, a policeman will show up at your house.
Wow.
And I said, well, what if I don't pay? He said, then he'll arrest you. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm taking my, you're telling me.
You're an attorney and you didn't know what would happen. Did you just ask that for the effect?
Well,
you must have known,
it's
right?
not something we cover in immigration law, really.
Okay. Wow.
So, yeah, they were going to send a cop to my house for. I said, really, you're going to arrest me?
That's what happens every time you don't pay a fine, just so you know. Men with guns will come.
Right. You're going to arrest me for taking my children to Disney World.
In front of your children, they will arrest you.
Yeah,
and then they'll take your children.
She's like, I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't make the rules.
I'd love to see someone like this. I mean, I'm so glad that I'm not in one of these things because I know what my answer would be.
You mean you're not a parent?
Then I'm not a parent. Then I'm not, I don't have to deal with a public school because I'd be like, well, your name is a matter of public record. So now I'm going to look up where you live, and you better hope you don't have any property violations because obviously you can't exercise any sort of free will, and we need to report every single violation.
Right.
So if you have anything that violates any of the city ordinances and codes, it's going to be reported. You better be on your best behavior.
So you're more than happy to,
threaten them right
back.
Actually, what I did was I looked at some of the bylaws for the schools, and I sent her the section that says actually the principal gets to decide what an excused absence is.
Oh, so she didn't even know her own
she
rules.
did not know that she could actually make the
decision. She
decision.
just is a petty tyrant.
Yeah.
But what her administration told me, one of her administrators sort of took me aside and said, here's how you do it. You withdraw your daughter from school because you're allowed to withdraw your kids from school and, homeschool them, whatever you want to do. And you're also allowed to change your mind.
I see.
So the assistant says you withdraw her from school, and then when you get back, you re-enroll her, and everything's fine. And she said, that's how everybody does it. Like, this is ridiculous. Why?
So this other bureaucrat advised you on the loophole.
Yes. And apparently that's the way everybody does it. And the reason that the school doesn't try to stop people from doing that, but they do try to stop people from the first one, is the school gets their funding based on how many days of attendance the students have, but they don't have to count students who aren't enrolled.
Are withdrawn.
It's about money for the school.
Of course it is. It's about money and control.
Yes.
Of course. But yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing that that story. I'm sure other parents can relate to having an experience like that. And one of my other dreams I'd love to see parents do someday is get one of these conversations on the record. Pull out a video camera and start recording these school bureaucrats and the ridiculous things that they say. Because frequently we'll hear stories like yours over the years of doing this show. We've heard, similar outrageous stories of how bureaucrats at government schools behave.
Threatening to arrest me for taking my children to Disney World. Yes.
Hold on. Let's get this on the record. What did you just say? Of course, better if you had the camera running the entire time. And then, of course, you would likely see some very nasty reactions right up front because a lot of bureaucrats do not like being recorded. They like being able to threaten you in private. They don't want their threats to go out where other people can see them. and they know that that's what they're going to do, so they're going to get threatened by the fact that you have the camera and will respond like a cornered animal, basically, demanding that you, likely demanding that you leave their office, turn the camera off, that you have no right to record, that they don't consent to your recording, and so on and so forth. Well, look, these are government bureaucrats. They are on the job, and you are the person that they are forcing to pay for their salary. So, to some extent, you have a right to record what they do. Now, that doesn't mean you can follow them into the bathroom stall necessarily, but otherwise, if they are saying you need to come talk to them, first of all, you probably have no obligation to talk to them, just like with the police. But if you're going to go meet with them, why not get it on the record? What do they have to hide? The old question about, people and, well, wow, what do you got to hide? Like the response to people who actually want to be private. Well, the same thing's true for them. They're public employees, and so they should not have anything to hide. They should be able, whatever it was they were going to say.
When discussing public business, yeah.
Or your own private business with them, because you can make it public if you would like to by simply pulling out a video camera. But they don't like that. And I've advised people who are kids at the school to try this, but of course they have rules. In some places they can't have a phone, or at certain times can't have a phone, but there's no way they can tell you as a parent walking into a parent-teacher conference or walking in to speak with a bureaucrat in the office or whoever that you can't record that interaction. But you never see it. Nobody ever does it. It's very rare. The only time you see videos out of school are like, I just the other day saw some cops dragging a 16-year-old girl down a flight of stairs. So every now and then you'll see some kind of physical abuse on the part of like school cops or whatever. But has anyone ever seen like footage of some school bureaucrat just losing their S in front of parents, or threatening parents, or threatening one of the students like openly? It's very rare that anything like that comes forth, because I think people aren't of the mindset of, I need to get this on the record. Now, to some extent, some people have been trained to do that with the police. We've seen a better ability of the average person to be willing to pull out a video camera, especially when it's somebody else who's being victimized by the police, to record that happening. So we've seen a lot more of that because everybody has a camera. Nobody wants to see their fellow man be harmed like that, and so it's the one thing that the average person can do in that circumstance besides yelling at the cops.
I can think of a few fellow men that I wouldn't mind seeing that happen to, but go on.
Well, whatever floats your boat. But
a few choice people.
Generally, most people can empathize with their fellow man or woman, and they don't want those things to happen, so they do the right thing and they pull out their camera, even though there's some risk to pulling out a video camera in front of an angry cop. There's a chance they can turn against you and trump up some charges, or maybe smash your camera, or perhaps beat you for doing that. So I'm grateful for everybody that takes those risks.
Incidentally, if I had recorded any conversation with the principal against her will, my daughter would have killed me. I wanted to, the school had a dress code, and I wanted her to break the dress code. I wanted her to wear the wrong socks or something like that. And she would and I would talk to her about this, like, let's do the pink socks instead of the white socks. And she's like, Mom, just let me wear the uniform.
Oh, that's so
she's
sad.
Like, Mom, stop making a scene.
See, she didn't know she had a cool mom in that case, because that's pretty cool. Like, a mom that's actually willing to encourage school civil disobedience.
Well, I told her not to do her homework, and she's like, I'm just going to do it.
Was this like reverse psychology?
That want obedient children.
Right.
No,
Tell
it was
them
like,
not to.
It was like first, second grade. I said it's ridiculous for them to give you homework before the fourth grade. There's actually been some studies that it doesn't help, and it just makes the kids miserable, and then they start hating school. So I said they should not be giving homework before age 4. Don't do it. If they give you homework, don't even do it. And she just said, I'm just going to do the homework, Mom. Okay? Just let me do my homework.
And this wasn't like a brilliant tactic of yours to get her to do the homework?
No, I wanted her to not do it.
Okay.
On principle.
Toll-free number tonight is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We got more on this deregulation, which we started the very beginning of the hour, a story about the IMF, NPR reporting, and I don't know even how, at what point we are in that story.
There's a couple of paragraphs left, but it does have a surprise ending in the final paragraph.
Yeah, so they're talking about these mega companies that keep increasing what they describe as market power, which we looked up the definition of that, and that is basically any amount of amount over the typical level of profit made in an open competitive market, basically. So it's an ability that certain companies have because they're essentially granted a protective monopoly or oligopoly status by governments. We'll get into it deeper here in just a little bit. Hour number 2 is on the way. You can take control of the airways here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. If you want to join us, 855-450-3733. Then, Johnson, you've got a story about the workers, and we'll get into that too. It's Free Talk Live.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Hey guys, it's Scott Bauer here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Are you looking for a super hot stock tip? Here at Prosper, we are always looking for exciting opportunities in the markets. And right now, all my students are salivating over this stock we are watching. In fact, I've got this hot stock written down right here, and I'm about to text it to you for free. I just need to know where to send it. Simply text HOT to 48542, and I'll text it to you instantly. How do I know this stock is so hot? Well, I'm a former CBOE market maker for Amazon Options, former vice president of Goldman Sachs, and I have over 25 years of professional trading experience. I'm telling you, this stock is hot. But be warned, the stock may move soon, so you need to claim it before it does. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Message and data rates may apply.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin, but imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next, after the news, here on the Liberty Radio Network at lrn.fm.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,285, silver at $14.94, and Bitcoin is trading around $5,085. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a group dedicated to regime change in Venezuela held a secret meeting last week focused on overthrowing the country's government. That's according to a report from Activist Post, citing a report from the Gray Zone Project. Journalist Max Blumenthal Sunday revealed a list of meeting attendees he obtained over the weekend from a source. The list shows that the event, held at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C., boasted as attendees members of the State Department, the Colombian and Brazilian embassies, members of the Venezuelan opposition, and other officials in the American national security state. The meeting comes after multiple failed attempts to depose the government of President Nicolas Maduro, who was elected in 2018. The President Donald Trump administration has made no secret of their intent to see Maduro gone, but thus far, nothing has worked. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices, with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The world was transfixed Monday on horrific images of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral engulfed in flames as they were broadcast across social media. Global news outlets in nearly every country were live streaming the devastating fire across platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The Mind Unleashed reports that those watching the live stream broadcast on YouTube saw something strange. An excerpt from an Encyclopedia Britannica entry regarding the World Trade Center bombing on September 11, 2001, accompanying the footage. And while the text box may seem like a complete non sequitur, it was actually a disclaimer meant to discourage the spread of what YouTube's algorithms mistakenly flagged as a conspiracy theory or fake news video. As it turned out, the columns of smoke rising from the Gothic cathedral bore a startling resemblance to those of 9/11, and YouTube's anti-conspiracy software was quick to kick into gear. The text boxes were introduced to YouTube last year as a new tool that would lead to a cessation of fake news videos going viral on the platform. A police officer from the Bossier City, Louisiana Police Department was arrested in December for filming unspeakable acts with animals. 38-year-old Terry Yetman was charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse of animals, producing the evidence himself, including filming sex with his own police canine. Now, the decorated cop has also been charged with 31 counts of child pornography. The Free Thought Project over the weekend learned that Yetman, who had only been out on bail for 2 days for the 40 counts of animal abuse charges, was taken into custody again and charged with 31 counts of possession of pornography involving juveniles. According to WAFB, Yetman's bond is currently set at $620,000. Additional charges could be filed. According to the Louisiana State Police, Yetman was originally arrested on December 19th and charged with 20 counts of sexual abuse of animals by performing sexual acts with an animal, and 20 counts of filming sexual acts with an animal. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new report released this week has found that nearly 3/4 of sleepaway campers' parents are currently using their children's time away from home to take the first steps towards filing for divorce.
With 46% of campers' moms currently staying with their sisters while they try to figure it out, and 38% of campers' dads sleeping on the living room couch and staring at the ceiling for hours before falling asleep.
Most campers are, at this precise moment, wholly unaware that their fathers are looking for temporary sublets and are experiencing a level of carefree, joyful buoyancy that experts say they will never feel again.
The majority of campers currently have, on average, 16 days until their lives come crashing down around them, at which point their parents will pick them up from camp, drive them to a restaurant, and then break the news that while they'll always be a family, they won't be living together anymore.
I love camp this year. It's so much fun. Mom sent me so many care packages. Dad even sent one. It's awesome.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free. Take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm, where you can join and, as I say, talk about anything you want. That's the point here on Free Talk Live. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
I'm Johnson.
So, Laurel, let's give a recap here for our listeners maybe just tuning in. At the very beginning of the show, we started what I would call a propaganda piece by NPR, where they are talking about...
Do they ever do anything else?
Sure. I mean, sometimes they've got some pretty fair reporting on like local issues here in New Hampshire, but yeah, they're definitely pro-government because obviously they're funded to some extent by tax dollars. Now, I think it's only like 10%, so they could cut themselves loose if they wanted to, but I mean, who doesn't want free money? So the article is about the IMF looking at sort of the global financial situation, and some people complaining because capitalism is failing, they said.
Well, they said it's becoming too capitalist, that there are corporations that are making too much money.
And they're giving examples of these corporations with what they call market power, that basically is defined by how able the corporation is to raise prices above what a normal competitive market would allow for. Meaning that they've got some sort of special ability, some kind of protection by government. But yet they're not talking about that in NPR. They're not calling it monopoly power. They're calling it market power. And they're just making it sound like these corporations have gotten this way because that's the way it is, and they're just big because they're big.
Well, they're saying they're greedy is what they're implying, that they're raising prices because they can and they don't care about the people.
Right, but they're suggesting, what they're suggesting is that it's the market that has allowed this. That it's, look, they've got all this market power. They have done this through the market. And what they've done is they've gotten power through governmental processes.
And actually, IMF agrees with you, as they said. So continuing on with the article, there's nothing, it says, this is actually kind of surprising that it says this. There's nothing inherently wrong with a product being provided by a bigger company. If that's the most efficient way it's done, economists usually don't pass judgment. But the IMF says increased concentration is having nasty side effects that are slowing growth. When companies
increased concentration of what?
I don't know. I think they mean increased concentration of power, increased concentration of market share, and fewer companies. When companies build stable pipelines of profits and don't have to worry about competition, then they don't have to invest and innovate as much.
That's true.
Others, but then, some of the biggest companies right now are also the biggest innovators, and that would be the tech companies. Aren't they on the?
Are they though?
Aren't they on the edge of what?
I mean, tech
is
companies
new?
are not subject to monopoly control in most or monopoly situations in most circumstances. Tech companies are one of the least regulated sets of industries out there. When you create a piece of software, thankfully in the United States, there's not a software licensing board that you have to go in front of to get some sort of software review by a bureaucrat who's going to go over your code and make sure that it's blah, blah, blah. So there's the FCC does regulate electronic devices to some extent to make sure they don't purportedly interfere with one another. But we're not talking about devices. We're talking about software. You're talking about Google and things like that.
People just don't understand yet how much their safety is at risk when these unregulated coders are able to create software. If people understood how much danger there actually was around the software.
Well, this is what they would say if they wanted to create regulations, and we are seeing news coming out of there's going to be headline from
It's what they
CNET.
say about everything that they create these licenses with, and there's always very little danger.
Right, that they need.
Because the licenses don't really do anything because they're not magic.
So here's a headline from CNET.com, the UK to unleash internet safety czar on Google, Facebook, and Twitter. So they're not going to regulate their software per se, but they are going to regulate what they do with it and tell them how they can implement the software. So they're already, the tendrils of the state are getting into these areas.
They're saying, well, America needs to have an advantage somewhere, right? So if Europe starts regulating their software industry, we can be assured that Europe will not be a leader in innovation in software.
It's interesting on the discussion of the copyright Article 13 in the European Parliament. A lot of the discussion was very anti-American. They were saying all these tech companies are in the United States and they think they can do anything they want.
Well, that's going to be the problem, Johnson, is it's not going to benefit Americans when Europe cracks down on these companies, because the companies will likely just implement the European scheme across the whole planet.
I don't know about that. A lot of companies talked about pulling out. Yeah.
Well, that'd be great if they actually did that.
It's becoming too cumbersome for them.
Okay.
The benefits are, don't outweigh the,
there's costs.
There's just so much cost. I mean, there's so much cost to just being involved with Europe, and there's not that much profit because of these regulations that even complying with them, it just doesn't make sense.
Well,
it's starting to they've made it so bad that now it doesn't even make economic sense. So it's bye.
Just leave.
And a lot of what they're talking about with Article 13, they're giving these directives and there's no way to implement them. So I think maybe some of the tech companies are like, we really can't.
Right.
So the last sentence of this paragraph, I think you're going to like, Ian. Others warn economic power leads to political power, which can lead to another kind of moat that blocks competition. Well, they don't really say what that moat is, but I think we all know.
Regulations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Regulations that are under the guise of improving the industry, but really that's there for
protection.
Eliminating.
They don't protect the consumers, as they want you to believe. They're actually just protecting the establishment. And we go to your calls and thoughts. We've got Matthew in Louisiana. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Matthew.
Yeah, how about that, y'all? Just talking about tech, and I was just going to tell you my experiences with Facebook.
Yeah, sure.
And why I deleted the app from my tablet.
Okay.
It wasn't, I knew that they were data mining me, okay? I was like, all right, this is part of the deal. They're not charging me for this, but so they want some data from me so they can sell me stuff, I guess, and I really confuse them as to what to sell me because my mind wanders a lot. And what bothered me the most, however, was when I was not on the app was still on, monitoring everything my tablet was doing and draining the batteries flat. I was like,
wow.
Oh, come on, man. Does not off mean off to you guys? And apparently with Facebook, no, off does not mean off like it does to everybody else.
Yeah, and this was just your tablet, right? Your tablet doesn't have GPS on it.
Well, it does.
Oh, it does?
I mean, it doesn't.
A lot of tablets don't. Yeah, a lot of tablets don't have GPS, but Facebook wants to know where you are at all times now, too.
Kind of creepy.
Right. Yeah, which room you're in. Which, Google has that kind of granular detail on you. Sundar Pichai probably knows what I look like nude, and that probably keeps him up at night. Like, oh, God, I can't unsee that. But...
So you said you uninstalled their app. You're still using their program on a desktop computer?
I check in once a month.
Okay.
Yeah,
it sounds like you've got it under control.
Anything really changes. My son, he always posts something from WWE. He's a big WWE fan. My sister-in-law will have some, cute cat picture, and that's about it. My good friends have important messages for me. No, they don't.
Yeah, every now and then I'll hear about like some drama going on Facebook, and I tend to agree with you. The same stuff continues to go on there. People are in the libertarian world arguing with one another about relatively inconsequential things rather than actually getting things done. They're spending more time picking each other apart than focusing on what they want to accomplish.
I finally left for that reason. It was
you left Facebook entirely.
Yeah. Well, I have a separate account. It's just a small one where I'm only friends with my family and with just a couple of other people. I have on this little account, I've got like 10 Facebook friends. Yeah.
All right. So sounds like y'all got it under control. Matthew, thanks for sharing your call with us tonight. And when I uninstalled the Facebook app, it was years before I actually quit Facebook. So it was probably one of the earlier steps that I took. And one of the things that got me to uninstall it was the fact that they then decided to split the app into at least 3 different apps. And they kept growing the size of the original app. So it ended up being hundreds of megabytes in size. And what is it doing exactly? Why does it keep getting so large? What is the problem with this app? How much spying is it doing? I have no idea. I had no idea. It got rid of it. And you can replace it with free apps that kind of do the same thing.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter.
With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. TheMorganReport.com. TheMorganReport.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, bring up whatever is on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms. And if you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and you agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, then you ought to check out liberty.menu. It is a tool for the Liberty community to allow you to share the thing that you do. Thing that you want to share with folks. Maybe it's your digital content that you create. Perhaps it is the business that you run or the event that you run or want to promote. You can create an entry for any of those categories over at liberty.menu. Plus, listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social networking aspect there, so you can connect and share with others. It's liberty.menu. You can use code FTL like Free Talk Live and get a special listener badge there at liberty.menu. Let's go back to your calls and thoughts. Sarah is in New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Sarah.
Yes, as I had mentioned before, that I'm really calling the show to reach the listeners.
Right, you don't actually want to talk to us. You just want to get a message out.
I mean,
yeah. All right, what is it tonight?
One of the things that I brought up is that we need to pay our legislature a salary.
Well, why don't you give them some money then? I mean, you get all this money from the government. Why don't you just turn it right back around to them?
What are you talking about? I have hardly enough to live on. I could barely, after I pay my rent, there's nothing hardly.
Well, I mean, if you can't scrape together some money for the legislature, then you obviously don't care that much. You want somebody else to do it?
Well, I mean, look.
Are you saying you can't find $5 that you could send to a poor, starving legislator?
Well, look, do you like to? How come you go to the hotel? Do you like to work for free? You want to work for free just to pay your rent and buy food and tell you what you could spend? Is that what you like?
A lot of people do volunteer work. I would say Americans do like volunteer work.
Wait, why do you think it's okay to work partially for free?
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm bringing this worked like 100 years ago.
I get what you're saying, but if you don't think it's okay to work for free, why is it okay to work and have half of your paycheck taken from you to go to causes that you may or may not support? Why is that okay? Why is it that you get to choose what other people's money goes to?
I'm trying to think about our legislature. Okay, they're working for free right now, but they're doing an inefficient job.
They get paid a per diem rate.
They're not working for free.
And they don't work full-time. The legislature in New Mexico is not full-time.
So you're lying when you say they don't get paid. They do get paid, and you know it.
Okay, but for food. And
let's just go right beyond the fact that I was telling a lie. All right, next.
Okay, if they're with a school-paying job, how are they supposed to pay their bill if all the money goes to hotel and gas and traveling?
Okay, different states handle this differently, and there are states where they do pay like a regular salary, and those legislators work full-time so that they can justify their full-time salaries.
So
and I'm not sure that is a good thing when in other states they manage to do it in a much shorter period of time.
Right.
So what's the advantage? Having more laws?
One, boo-hoo. Two, take out a loan. Go into debt like most other Americans have.
How about share the hotel room? How about, 6 of them climb into bed together?
How about don't make as many laws?
Well, yeah, that'd be nice. How about they just go home?
How come you go to the Acapulco and stay in hotels and eat at restaurants? Why don't you work for free? You want everybody else to work for free. You want them to be treated like garbage.
Actually, we went to Acapulco. They paid for our tickets, but I paid for most of the food that I ate while I was there.
And Sarah, actually, I'm a volunteer here. I don't get paid.
You need to work for free. You need to work for volunteer. Why do you get paid to eat at restaurants and stuff like that? That's not fair.
Well, we do offer you like a gas stipend, but you've refused it.
I've declined. But I'm just letting her know that some people work for free.
Right.
Because they want to. And here in New Hampshire, the state legislator, they get a small amount of money. It's not really commensurate with what they're doing. However, there's a lot of competition on election day. So obviously there are plenty of people who would be happy to do this
to get this small amount of pay. Right.
For their government. That's how they see it. They're doing a service for their community, and they are happy to volunteer to do it. In fact, they're fighting over it to the point where there's elections. So the states where they're paying $70,000 per person, like how it is in California and Pennsylvania, isn't that just a big waste of money when in places like New Hampshire, they get their legislature for a lot less?
Well, what I'm speaking to the voters is I'm not arguing with you again. I'm not arguing with you guys, okay? Because you guys live in New Hampshire, okay? I'm talking to the voters of New Mexico. Our state
but we're
is
in the okay. So I actually don't know off the top of my head how much the legislators get paid in New Mexico.
$100 a year in New Hampshire. I'll tell you that. Plus, there's a gas stipend in New Hampshire. New Mexico gets a daily stipend. We've looked it up before, and it's nothing small. Like it's a decent. I'll pull it up for you.
So they're actually getting more in New Mexico than they are in New Hampshire. So this is actually a good comparison.
Maybe I'm not sure what it all shakes out to
for this discussion. But if you're saying they're not making enough,
$161 a day in New Mexico.
Okay,
and they're together for a few months, I think, at a time. I believe they
probably once every 2 years.
Months.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that this is holding our state back.
How?
Because we need to make it. Okay, because
she wants more laws.
This is what Sarah's gunning for. She's gunning to get her name out there on the radio so that she can run for office, so she can get that sweet $161 a day.
Well, she wants to raise it. She wants to get more than that.
And then raise it, yeah. So she can steal from the taxpayers, too.
Look, this worked 100 years ago when everybody took courses. So 3 weeks to ride a horse and buggy to Santa Fe. 3 weeks. Okay, all they had was cow farms. All they had was ranches. They did everything in a month. Next year they did everything in 2 months, and they rode the horse back. It worked well 110 years ago. You know, this is holding our state back.
How? How's it holding your state back? Be more specific.
She's right. It's holding the state back because if the state government had more time to pass more laws,
they'd be like California, which has a crazy number of regulations and laws, because they have a full-time legislator that wants to justify their salaries. California legislators make the most, I think, in the country.
I mean, people are still keeping a large portion of their income. The state is clearly failing, and we need
New Mexico?
I mean, if people are keeping any of their money and are able to make choices for themselves, can you imagine the horror? People have to stop making choices for themselves and stop being able to spend their own money on whatever they want willy-nilly. We have to make sure that the state gets all the power and all the money.
That's what Sarah's proposal is.
So, Sarah, where I really disagree with you is that you seem to be your theory seems to be predicated on the idea that being a state legislator should be a full-time job. Just completely for the whole 2 years of each session, it should be a full-time job. And I strongly disagree with that. I think that it should be just maybe a couple of weeks every 2 years, the way that it is in Texas.
How about we just get rid of it entirely? I mean, what's the point? It's just an old, stupid, violent tradition that people hold on to. They cling to the state because they're afraid of what would happen without it. And to me, that's an exciting possibility of what would happen without this just wretched old idea that needs to go away. Maybe it'll go away sometime in our lifetimes, but that's pretty optimistic. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can bring up what you want. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
Are you tired of governments around the world killing innocent people? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin is money that cannot be inflated or controlled by any state. By continuing to use their money, you're perpetuating the killing. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available to you now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. It's Bitcoin.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can bring up what you want here. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. You jump into one of those rooms, you'll sound like you're sitting here in the studio with us. It's Ian here.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
As we continue talking about the economy and specifically big corporations that are just humongous and protected from any real competition by government, and therefore they're able to gain what some economists call market power, the ability to raise prices beyond what they would be able to get away with in a competitive marketplace. Laurel, there was more to that story that you wanted to share with us. Also, I wanted to make sure that our listeners know about AnyPay, because if you are in the world of retail, if you still have a brick and mortar mom and pop store where people come in and buy things, buy products or services, then if you want to take cryptocurrency at your point of sale, there is one system that is the best, and I've tried them all. AnyPay.global. It's a great little system programmed actually by some friends of the show, actually some co-hosts of ours. In fact, next week, both the guys from AnyPay are going to be here in the studio hosting this very Tuesday night show next week. So they're great guys, and longtime listeners know Derek J. Freeman very, very well from his regular hosting of Free Talk Live. If you've never listened to Free Talk Live before, then you don't know who I'm talking about. You'll find out. Meanwhile, go to helpmetakebitcoin.com. They've got iOS and Android apps. The sign-up is as easy as it could be. We're talking username and password. There's no application. There's no forms to fill out. There's no waiting. You just let right in. You put your cryptocurrency wallet addresses in the back end of the system at helpmetakebitcoin.com, and then you load the app on your tablet device at your checkout. And that's it. You're taking Bitcoin. You're taking Zcash, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and others if you want. It's up to you which ones you want to take. Helpmetakebitcoin.com. All right, so let's continue. Laurel, you had a little bit more to your story about the IMF deregulation and these mega corporations.
Yep. So the last section of the article, there's a header that says, okay, IMF, are you going to fix it? It says the IMF's recommendations are a far cry from saying we need to start breaking up companies. Instead, they say countries should ensure a level playing field, and they offer some pretty modest ways to do that.
Okay, well, that, first of all, is not advocating for deregulation, right?
Oh, but we're getting to that. Including cutting red tape on startups, opening up trade restrictions, and potentially loosening intellectual property and patent laws.
Those are all good suggestions.
Yes. That's basically it. A growing chorus of American wonks have been calling for more aggressive antitrust enforcement. And then the NPR
Go
says,
through that list of the things again, the 3 things or whatever that they should do.
Cutting red tape on startups. I think they should just cut red tape on everybody.
Right.
Opening up trade restrictions and potentially loosening intellectual property and patent laws.
Right. All of those things would be very, very good for business, especially for the newbies, for the people that. Because normally when you hear a politician say level the playing field, what they mean is to actually make it more difficult on upstarts, on people that are getting into a business, because the playing field isn't necessarily going to be level on a sort of natural basis, right? Somebody's going to have an advantage because of whatever position they happen to be in, or maybe they earned that position. Maybe they worked real hard to become a market leader, not monopoly, because again, monopolies generally happen when governments enforce them.
Right. Well, so often they level the playing field with more government interference. So what the IMF is suggesting,
but it doesn't level the playing field anyway, because it raises the bar for everybody else.
Right. So what the IMF is suggesting is less government interference, which I think is awesome. It's great. It's great to hear that from the IMF.
I doubt anyone's going to listen, but because government doesn't have an incentive to do those things. The government's incentive is to continue to create more regulations because they want more bureaucrats. Every bureaucrat manager wants to have more bureaucrats underneath them. They want to have a bigger budget for their bureaucracy. And so in order to get bigger budgets, they have to have more people. And in order to have more people, they need to have more regulations. And so their interest is to continue to increase the size and the scope of their influence and their so-called authority over whatever industry. So, I mean, the idea that some bureaucrat's going to get in there and actually call for his own job to be eliminated or call for his co-workers' jobs to be eliminated, they'd put his head on a pike. You know, the teachers' union, for instance, in the government schools, they don't want to hear anything about cuts to anything, anywhere. And the only time you can get a teacher to support a cut is what we've seen happen in Johnstown. I think you've been there for some of these meetings.
I've been to every single one.
Yeah,
so
okay,
far.
that's what I thought. Well, actually, didn't we skip this year, or did you go this year?
I don't know.
Most everybody skipped it this year. But every year up until this year, we've been going to these school board meetings where they have whatever the proposed budget is.
That's right, because it was supposed to be in March, right? Is that when?
Yeah, early March.
Early, okay.
So they have this proposed budget, and then there's usually a slightly larger proposed budget, but they're always bigger. Like the proposed budget's bigger than last year's budget, and then there's the other budget, which has other things in it. And so you'll see the teachers fight over where the extra money goes to. So that's the only time you'll hear a teacher argue against another side of the government getting larger is they want the money for their side of the government. So it shouldn't go to the music class. It should go to the physical education class. Oh, no. The music teacher says it should go to the music class. Physical education is not as important as music. So therefore, this is the kind of fighting. Right. This is the only thing you see. You see them squabbling over the scraps. Right. There's nobody ever saying, well, we need to cut the government by 1%.
See, this is one of the things that baffles me about when the states talk about education is they brag about how much they're spending, or they'll say this other state is spending more, we should spend more.
Right.
If it were actual competition, if it were capitalist, then people would be bragging over the higher quality for less money. I mean, it's crazy that people are bragging about how much they're spending for something that's not better.
I don't know if I would use the term capitalist. Because
competition.
If there was a market and there were competition, because you can have different forms of organization that some people wouldn't necessarily say right off the bat that that's capitalist. Like if it was a commune, would that be capitalist?
No. I don't know, but one school competing against another, I would think I would call capitalist.
Well,
it's like, what are you getting for your money?
I mean, capitalism just has to do with organizing, economies, right?
Putting capital into something, which is what you would have to do for a school.
So, I mean, but if it was run by a communist, would it really be considered capitalism?
I don't know. This is like one of those riddles.
Yeah. So, capitalism is an economic or political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. That's a definition of it. If it's not for profit, then is it capitalism? I don't think so.
I mean, that's a good question because a lot of private schools are nonprofit, so they're not trying to make more money. But They're trying to get more students, and they're trying to get more clout, and they're trying to offer the best price.
Well, they still get paid.
They do still get paid.
Yeah. So the administrators and teachers are still collecting a paycheck, but it's non-profit.
But no private school ever brags that they charge more than everybody else.
Right.
Which is what the states are doing
happen.
about their public schools.
That's true.
I like what's happening in the New Hampshire legislature, where there are some, Democratic organizations and some Democratic bureaucrats, who spend their time in Concord, who have been lamenting the fact that a lot of the House Republicans, which are actually not necessarily Republicans, are possibly, hidden libertarians from the Free State Project.
Or not so hidden, but
or not so hidden whatsoever, have now popularized and made it, in lots of speeches on the House floor, the phrase "taxation is theft."
I've heard about this. Dave Ridley called about it a couple weeks ago.
So there have been some very upset Democrat politicians.
Right.
And I thought it was funny. There was some news article about this, and I made a comment on it because I guess some of the Democrats thought that it would be, a good thing that every time that the phrase is uttered, taxation is theft, that they would donate some small amount to a charity.
That's right, yeah. A liberal charity.
Some liberal charity. Yeah, it had to be a liberal charity that funded getting Democrats into office.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
the irony, right? Of course, they're not really giving to charity. They're giving to their own
re-election
campaigns.
campaign.
Yeah. But then what I thought was ironic on top of that, and I made a comment to this effect in an article, is that it's funny that they're choosing to voluntarily donate to a charity, ironically proving that taxation is not needed to get people to fund causes that they support, that you can do so voluntarily and without the theft
they
and
don't
violence
realize,
of government.
course, that they're doing this.
No,
they don't realize the point that they're making.
Right.
855 450 free. As Antifa Dog says in the chat room, all competitive markets are not capitalism. I tend to agree. Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com. Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale. Totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. Ian, Laurel, and Johnson in the studio tonight. And also want to make sure you know about all the cool features on our website, including our Discord server. We mention it a lot as a way to call in, but it's also a way for you to interact with other Free Talk Live listeners and some of the co-hosts. In fact, Johnson, you're in there as Tempest and Furnace. Mm-hmm. I'm in there as FTL_Ian. So we're always, or I'm frequently in there pretty much every day. And you can join the conversation. There's folks that you'll recognize, some of the callers, like Gene the Christian Anarchist. He's there pretty regularly. One of our next callers who's in the Discord, he's in there chatting as well. So jump on in there. There's different channels in which you can have topic-related conversations like cryptocurrency or gaming. New Hampshire, of course. We like New Hampshire a lot. And, of course, general chats as well for what's going on the air, people talking about that sometimes. It's all free, so head over to discord.lrn.fm. and get started with that. There's an app that you can download for pretty much whatever operating system that you use. It's discord.lrn.fm. Let's go to your calls and thoughts. We will start with Aaron. He's in the UK on our Discord line. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about how the education system is kind of like, just genuinely bad.
It's also pretty bad over there, huh? I believe it.
I mean, it's just, the schools and all that, they don't deal with bullies, anything like that,
You saying you've been bullied and they've done nothing about it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They've pretty much done nothing about it, and at one point we had to get the police involved and all that.
Did the police do anything about it?
Not that I'm aware of, but I think they have talked to them. But...
Well, it sounded better when you said you got the police involved. It sounded like something would have happened, but no, sadly, they were.
What kind of bullying are you talking about? Where the police had to get involved?
Just a bunch of racism. So
really, being racist toward you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Now, in the UK, are you forced to go to the government schools like you are here in the United States, unless your parents have?
There is private schools.
Mm-hmm.
Can you homeschool?
I'm pretty sure if you don't have it.
Good question.
I think you can, but it's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in some states in the United States.
I'm pretty sure you can get fined here for not going to school.
Yep, they'll do that. Yeah. That's what they were threatening you with, Laurel, if your kids...
If she missed too many days.
Right. They'd send cops. With fines. And if you don't pay the fine, then the cops will arrest you.
Yep.
And then they'll take your kids from you, and then they'll claim you're a bad parent because you let the cops arrest you.
Because I took them to Disney World. Yep.
Yeah. If you ever made it to Disney World in the first place.
With our school, I feel like a lot of it's just kind of revision and useless tests. You know.
And how old are you, if you don't mind?
I'm 13.
13. Wow. Sounds older than that.
Yeah, he does.
So you're 13 years old. What do they call that? Like here in the United States, they have grade levels. So there's they have
kids for years.
They what?
We have something called years. We have like year 6. So year 6 is just before secondary school. And
so what year are you in at age 13? What year is that?
year 8.
Year 8. Okay, got it.
Which is the second year of secondary school.
So you basically
And
start at
minimum
around
grades.
age 5 then? That would be year 1, or is that year 0?
I think we call it. I think we start at year 1. We don't have a year 0.
Do you guys have like the grades like they have in the United States, like A, B, C, D, E, F, that you are awarded for?
They call them marks.
We have marks instead of grades.
Are they letters, or are they like, how do they?
No, they're just numbers, like something out of 50, or you know.
Okay, so a score, a more numeric score, basically. Okay.
Yeah. So
see,
like,
you
let's
learn
say,
new
like,
things
Yeah,
every
you're
night.
right. I was wrong.
I don't know what things are like over there.
Be, so on a test, there'd basically be you have 60 questions or whatever, and then you get a certain amount of points per question. Right, it's like 1 mark, 2 marks, blah blah blah. You know, you get extra marks for doing questions.
And
all
so,
that.
how many more years do you have? You're in level, or what was it, grade 8? How many more?
Where is this call
year
coming
8.
from? I'm just
the UK.
UK, but where
UK.
in the? I'm just curious. I'm trying to improve my guess on accents.
Why don't you take a crack at it?
Are you from the Birmingham area?
No, definitely not.
Damn it!
How are you training on this, Johnson? Are you listening to like
I've been
regional
listening to
dialects?
different regional dialects and trying to pick up on accents. So wait, where are you from then in the UK, roughly?
God, I'm in a small town near London.
Okay. All right. So near the city.
Are you listening to us on the internet? How are you listening to us?
That's the only way it's possible.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. By the way, I want to compliment you, Aaron. I mean, you're 13 years old, but you bring up better topics than 99% of the people who've called on Twitch, because normally it's like fart noises and dropping F-bombs, and then we have to hit the dump button, and we're really sad about that.
Yeah, it's 1:53 right now, so I'm probably gonna go sleep.
Thanks for the call, man.
You
We'll
have
let
school
you get back to
tomorrow.
bed. I appreciate it, man. That's Aaron there from the UK. And yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot to, call in and actually have a productive and interesting conversation. It just, saying the F word on the air, like most of the people who call from Twitch, it doesn't get us anywhere. So thanks for that, Aaron, for outshining most of your contemporaries.
Every so often I've had to call, and it would be funny if it was the same kind of area, but there's a warehouse the company I work for has a warehouse.
ThinkPenguin.com.
In Twickenham, which is actually right near London.
Okay.
And I've had to call there before and speak to some folk on the phone and listen to the accent. It's fun. It's always fun for me.
Does it range, or is it a pretty consistent accent?
It ranges.
People?
Yeah, it ranges because people, but
they
that
move
area,
around.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh. So you want to join us? You can. Our toll-free number here, 855-450-FREE. Let's talk to Tom. He's in New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
St. Vincent Catholic Charities in Michigan is suing the state of Michigan because the state funds adoption agencies, and they won't fund that one because
it's
on
Catholic?
Religious grounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. The religious grounds, the agency won't deliver the children into the hands of queers. And so the state says, that's against the rules. You're not supposed to, quote, discriminate, unquote, against them. And one irony about this is if the queers are so upset that, they don't get to have children, they knew that when they made that choice, and they can straighten out, and they know how to make a baby, a man and a woman. They should give that
Maybe
a
they
try.
don't want to make more babies. Maybe they want to adopt a child who could use some parents and some love and being taken out of a damn, orphanage or some foster home or something like that.
And into something even worse, into the hands of homosexuals.
You are so despicable on this topic. Haven't you ever met any gay people?
I don't. I don't go out of my way to meet them because
don't go out of your house.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've met plenty of gay people, and I think some of them were and would be very, very good parents. People who would love their children and raise them very well. I just, you're a homophobe, Tom, and it's pretty sad.
No, I'm not a homophobe. I don't like queers. I'm not afraid of them.
What would you call that then?
I don't like queers. That is
So like a gay hater? I mean, is there a word for that? Somebody who's not a homophobe? You're not afraid of them, but you sure are obsessed with them, and you sure do seem to have a lot of opinions that are negative about them.
Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character."
Mm-hmm.
And those
aren't you judging people by their sexual preferences?
That's the content of their character. They made a choice.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. And pretty much every gay person will tell you, everyone that I've ever talked to will tell you that it wasn't a choice, that it was something that they were born with. Like, they're certain that they were attracted to people of the same sex as early as one can be attracted to somebody else, that they always felt that it was something that, they couldn't avoid. Some people have tried to take classes or whatever, pray the gay away, or they've been forced into classes like that. And it doesn't work. In fact, we've seen stories where the people leading these classes will essentially relapse and finally admit that they were gay the whole time. They just tried to suppress it. And so, Tom, I question you. I wonder if you're suppressing something. Thanks for the call. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Because people,
I think he wants to have a relationship with a male officer.
A cop? Because he's into that too.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Combine these two obsessions together. In the back of a cruiser.
Maybe.
All right, so more on the way here. 855-450-FREE like freedom. We're going to talk about the workers in America coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Hey guys, it's Scott Bauer here, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Are you looking for a super hot stock tip? Here at Prosper, we are always looking for exciting opportunities in the markets. And right now, all my students are salivating over this stock we are watching. In fact, I've got this hot stock written down right here, and I'm about to text it to you for free. I just need to know where to send it. Simply text HOT to 48542, and I'll text it to you instantly. How do I know this stock is so hot? Well, I'm a former CBOE market maker for Amazon Options, former vice president of Goldman Sachs, and I have over 25 years of professional trading experience. I'm telling you, this stock is hot. But be warned, the stock may move soon, so you need to claim it before it does. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Text HOT to 48542, and I'll text you this hot stock instantly. Message and data rates may apply.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,285, silver at $14.94, and Bitcoin is trading around $5,085. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing 1 or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a group dedicated to regime change in Venezuela held a secret meeting last week focused on overthrowing the country's government. That's according to a report from Activist Post, citing a report from the Gray Zone Project. Journalist Max Blumenthal Sunday revealed a list of meeting attendees he obtained over the weekend from a source. The list shows that the event, held at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C., boasted as attendees members of the State Department, the Colombian and Brazilian embassies, members of the Venezuelan opposition, and other officials in the American national security state. The meeting comes after multiple failed attempts to depose the government of President Nicolas Maduro, who was elected in 2018. The President Donald Trump administration has made no secret of their intent to see Maduro gone, but thus far, nothing has worked. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices, with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybravebotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. The world was transfixed Monday on horrific images of Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral engulfed in flames, as they were broadcast across social media. Global news outlets in nearly every country were live streaming the devastating fire across platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The Mind Unleashed reports that those watching the live stream broadcast on YouTube saw something strange. An excerpt from an Encyclopedia Britannica entry regarding the World Trade Center bombing on September 11, 2001, accompanying the footage. And while the text box may seem like a complete non sequitur, it was actually a disclaimer meant to discourage the spread of what YouTube's algorithms mistakenly flagged as a conspiracy theory or fake news video. As it turned out, the columns of smoke rising from the Gothic Cathedral bore a startling resemblance to those of 9/11, and YouTube's anti-conspiracy software was quick to kick into gear. The text boxes were introduced to YouTube last year as a new tool that would lead to a cessation of fake news videos going viral on the platform. A police officer from the Bossier City, Louisiana Police Department was arrested in December for filming unspeakable acts with animals. 38-year-old Terry Yetman was charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse of animals, producing the evidence himself, including filming sex with his own police canine. Now, the decorated cop has also been charged with 31 counts of child pornography. The Free Thought Project over the weekend learned that Yetman, who had only been out on bail for 2 days for the 40 counts of animal abuse charges, was taken into custody again and charged with 31 counts of possession of pornography involving juveniles. According to WAFB, Yetman's bond is currently set at $620,000. Additional charges could be filed. According to the Louisiana State Police, Yetman was originally arrested on December 19th and charged with 20 counts of sexual abuse of animals by performing sexual acts with an animal, and 20 counts of filming sexual acts with an animal. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Everyone needs to get a justice shed. So you have a place to throw that little juvenile delinquent you caught loitering out on the street corner. This is not rocket science, people. I just call up my neighbors, Frank and Terry. We get out there with baseball bats, fishing nets, and we knock that suspect out. And we toss him in our justice shed. We just start dealing out some shovel beatings. That's democracy, people. That's the biggest benefit of the Justice Shed, people. You are in charge.
Our Justice Shed was all filled up, so we created this Justice Cage. It's just as good. These guys, I think we caught them shoplifting, and this is my daughter's boyfriend.
Look, if you don't have a yard big enough to place a justice shed in, go out and get yourself a justice barrel. I don't care. The important thing is to take control of your safety by any means necessary.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live, launching into the third hour of the show. As always, you're invited here to join us. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. And, of course, you can take control of the airwaves. Coming up, Johnson, you've got what I would call kind of a related story. We've been talking about the economy and business and regulations, and let's talk about the workers. Coming up, that's right around the corner. By the way, it's Ian here with you tonight.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
First, though, we go to David. He's calling us from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, I had that exact same experience in school with attendance as Laurel did, and I was given the exact same line, but different set of circumstances, but the same thing. And they did that to me.
You're referring to, just so for our listeners just tuning in, you're referring to the story Laurel told earlier where she was threatened by a school administrator over simply wanting to take her kids to Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't get so far. They didn't threaten me with the police, but they definitely made an issue of it. And I was actually not going to Disney World, or at least I didn't think of it as Disney World. I was actually alternately driving and actually flying an airplane 100 miles from my hometown up to the big city in Minneapolis to attend college courses at the University of Minnesota when I was not at school. And they still didn't like it because when I was not at school, they were not getting the daily dole from the government for my attendance. So, and that just fits right into the overall scheme of things. Government racketeering, virtually everything, every operation that governments do, virtually every one of them is somehow tied to racketeering. And that's one of them, because they were threatening to put you in jail because you were not providing them with an item, being a living, breathing child, that they could make money off of. So you were hurting their revenue, and they were going to put you in prison over that revenue. And if they did
she wouldn't make it to prison; it'd just be jail.
Well, jail, yeah. And then while you were in jail, if you were somebody without family, like many people are nowadays, then your child would be put in child protective service.
Right.
And that is, yeah.
And then good luck getting them back, because then they'll argue that, oh, you're not a responsible parent because you went to jail.
Yeah, the state is going to file the state is going to go against you, which is different than my case. In my case, the other parent is taking me to court, and the state is the enforcer and the bully. But in your case, the state would have come after you and opened up a court case against you as an unfit parent, potentially, and then want to extract your child from your life. And, once again, that's child trafficking. And people are making money off of it, because then the workers that work for the state doing child protective service, they're getting paid. The judge is getting paid to administer the case. The prosecutor is getting paid to bring the case. The social workers are getting paid to provide their expert services in and out of the courtroom. And then if you get your parental rights terminated temporarily or permanently, then the foster care system the foster parents are getting paid a monthly stipend, and they're getting taxpayer food expenses.
Many of whom are abusive, and we've seen stories of foster parents locking children in cages, for instance, feeding them the most barest of bare sustenance, just so they can maximize the paycheck, make the paycheck go as far as it can go for them, the parents, but not for the child. Of course, plenty of other abusive situations have been entered into. We've even seen stories where bureaucrats who work for the child so-called protection services agencies are actually perverts and, child pornographers and abusers and sick stuff, man. Thanks, David, for the call tonight. I appreciate hearing from you. Of course, we're all forced to pay for it. You don't like it? You don't like them stealing people's children from other folks? Well, if you don't pay, then they'll come and they'll steal your house from you. And if you try to stay in your house and you try to tell them that it's not their house to take, then they're going to use guns to get you out of that house. And then, of course, they've separated you from your kids in that case, and good luck getting them back, like David was pointing out. So, they basically, what that teacher or that administrator didn't say to you when you were talking with them, Laurel, is that we own your kids. But that's basically what they were saying to you, that we will do what we want. You won't do what you want unless you have our permission.
Unless you pull the kids out of school and leave the public school system,
and that's easier in some places than it is in others. So,
fairly easy in Texas, thank goodness.
Yeah, Texas would probably be one of the better states, but we've heard in California that it is very difficult to get kids out of the government schools in California, and that there are, the teachers' unions and the politicians that back them are incredibly hostile towards homeschooling and towards unschooling out in California, that it's, good luck getting through whatever hoops that they put in front of you. That for people that have, kids, you might want to look into some of these states where homeschooling isn't as regulated. In some states, they want your curriculum from you. They want you to ask permission or get some sort of, teacher approved curriculum or whatever. There's all these dumb rules that they try to put on parents that want to homeschool. And some other states are less restrictive.
Texas is one of the best.
Yeah. Let's continue. We got Paul. He's in Los Angeles. Paul, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead. Paul?
Yeah, Johnson.
This sounds like it's going to be good. Go ahead.
What are you going to do with your life?
Oh, it's you. You're gone. 855. I didn't recognize him there at first. 855, 450 free. Sounded like he was trying to put a little Texas twang on there. All right, we go James. On. Yep. 855, 450 free. So, Johnson, let's talk about the workers in America. What's your story?
Okay, so I have a story here from jacobinmag.com.
Jacobin. It's basically a left-wing rag, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
The story is from Matt Brunig. But interestingly enough,
let's just get a little bit of background here on Jacobin. It is a Democratic Socialist quarterly magazine based in New York, just to give you some idea of what's about to come. I've not read the article, but just to set the stage.
Actually, ironically, the point that they make kind of works against their thesis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just don't realize it?
Yeah.
So It's not just left, it's left authoritarian if it's socialist.
It's Democratic Socialist, offering American leftist perspectives on politics, economics, and culture.
So the article says here, the title is U.S. workers are paying high taxes, but without any of the benefits. Comparing labor tax rates across countries is a tricky endeavor. Some countries rely mostly on income and payroll taxes charged to workers, others on payroll taxes charged to employers. And
not that different.
Yeah. Still others on compelling workers and employers to pay private parties who provide pension and health insurance products. To get an apples-to-apples comparison, you have to normalize all of these various schemes into a single labor tax concept that actually reflects just how much labor compensation is being put towards compulsory payments of one sort or another. The OECD produces a number of taxing wages publications that each year
sound like real page turners
permit this sort of cross-country comparison. Actually, there is some data that the OECD puts out that is very interesting. If you ever look up Hans Rosling's, he talks about how basically the entire world is getting richer. There's a project called gapminder.org, GAP.
I don't know if you were here, but no, you wouldn't have been, because it was Mark who actually reported on this, but maybe it's about what you were going to say, is that the amount of poor people has been shrinking dramatically.
Yeah. Capitalism has basically been lifting the entire planet out of poverty. Even in these horrible countries, it's still having an effect to drag people out of poverty. Mm-hmm. Kicking and screaming in some cases,
and significant numbers.
Give me my socialism! Right. I can't have freedom.
And we're talking about significant numbers of population in just the last 20 years.
Right.
So more coming up here from your story about the workers. What does the Jacobin magazine have to say about it?
Yeah.
And taxes. 855 450 free. And I don't agree with forcing people to pay into retirement plans or whatever, so I would agree that that's a bad thing. But people need options, and they should be able to choose. 855 450 free, like freedom. If you want to join us here, take control of the airwaves on Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event. Even with coupon code FTL50. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTL50 for a discount.
Welcome back to the War for the White House bunker. A troubling new report from the Shuttleworth Institute shows that due to Facebook, every potential candidate for the 2040 presidential race, no matter how smart or accomplished, is now completely unelectable. I'm standing in the 2012 Democrat with Jason Copeland. Jason, walk us through this.
Yeah, we're looking at really a political crisis. The Democrats are currently searching basements and creepy backyard sheds in search of somebody who was kidnapped at a young enough age that they have no online presence.
That is a very interesting tactic.
And the GOP has been looking at this young man. This is a 20-year-old Jeeves Jones. He's currently living in Appalachia with his fundamentalist Christian grandmother and no electricity.
So Jeeves has no Facebook page?
Jeeves does not. In fact, he's completely illiterate. And the Republican Party has begun grooming him for a possible candidacy in 2036.
All right. Well, at least there's someone. Thank you, Jason Copeland.
Thanks, Andrea.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free if you want to join us on the radio. You can do that. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. The Discord on-air call-in line rooms, they're open and available to you, so jump into one of those rooms and we will get you on the air. With us tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
Talking about the workers and, of course, the Democratic Socialists over at the Jacobin magazine have a few things to say about it. Johnson, you wanted to share that with us here tonight. We're going to continue with that. Your calls and thoughts are welcome, though. Our number is 855-450-FREE. And by the way, the good news, first of all, good news for DLive was they survived their stress test, which, having the number one YouTube channel in the world come onto your platform to do exclusive live streaming, PewDiePie is his name, is going to bring a bunch of new users to your system.
Oh, you bet.
And it held up fine. PewDiePie did his live broadcast on Sunday for the first time, and basically he gave away a bunch of cryptocurrency to...
Blockchain does scale.
Well, we're not sure how they're doing the video streaming. I don't think it has anything to do with blockchain personally, because blockchain's an incredibly inefficient system. It's good for transparency. It's good for
I don't
redundancy.
know. How does library work, right? I mean, how does...
Yeah.
There are some blockchain streaming applications that are in existence that seem to work pretty well.
Can you stream through library? I don't think you can.
There's a site, spee.ch, that does just that.
Really?
Yeah.
That allows live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, I know about library, and I didn't even know that that was possible. All right. Well, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. Cool, because all of our archives are up there on library, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so if you want to follow us on DLive, it's our new video streaming platform. We're still on YouTube. We're still on Twitch. You can go to dlive.lrn.fm. The nice thing about DLive is it's a newer platform. It's only been around for like a year or so before they finally brought PewDiePie in, and now, of course, it's exploding in popularity as a result of that.
I don't know. Maybe things will change, but to quote somebody else who's here, it's not the platform for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I looked at it and I'm
you're on Twitch. You do your own channel on Twitch.
Yeah. And as I've been looking at it, I just looked at how it's laid out, how it's designed, the community, and
I would say the community, at least of callers, has been better. The DLive callers have actually, identifiably, we haven't really had any issue with DLive callers. Right. When we've asked them where they've called from, they've been calling from DLive, and they've actually had something useful and interesting to say. So I don't know what. Maybe it's just coincidence or whatever. We're still pretty new there, so who knows? But just from a game streamer's perspective, which we don't do a whole lot of that on our channel, we'll do it every now and then. Like I played some Overwatch the other night for the first time in 3 months or something like that.
Right.
But you're relatively new on Twitch. You're newer than our channel is.
So I would be in a position to more easily switch.
Because I know Matto Blasto, who was kind of like my introduction to Twitch. It looks like she's made the flip to DLive and is getting as much, if not more, viewers there than she got on Twitch.
Right.
Because it's easier to stand out on a platform where you're not competing against 2 million
But what's going to
streamers.
happen when that changes real fast? In other words, once this platform starts to get bigger.
Yeah, sure.
Which will happen quickly now.
Very quickly now. Yeah. So, and then there should be some sort of, probably an equilibrium, and it's then what happens? And so, I don't know.
I don't know, but for our purposes, I have the ability to stream to more than one place simultaneously, so why not?
Right.
I know that somebody pointed out that on Twitch there is a rule saying you have to exclusively stream to Twitch for the first 24 hours, or that the content has to be exclusive to Twitch. And my argument is our content is different. The content is at 480p on DLive and at 720p on Twitch.
Right.
So Twitch is getting an exclusive. They're getting our exclusive HD quality feed.
Right.
You can't get that on any other platform.
Right.
So that's kind of my argument. Nobody's ever, maybe they've reported us for it, but Twitch has never, they haven't banned the channel. Although they might tonight, because if you stay tuned on both Twitch and DLive, we're going to put them to the test again. Aria DiMezzo is in our studio awaiting her Aria Uncensored Episode 2, which is going to be coming up. We'll be only on those video streaming platforms. So dlive.lrn.fm. Follow us there.
That's who I was quoting. So we might find out soon that DLive is, in fact, going to be the platform for Aria after tonight.
Oh, wait. You were quoting Aria.
Yeah, I was quoting Aria.
But wait, you yourself are in favor or against DLive? Sorry.
I'm saying that DLive, I'm not really against DLive. I've just kind of chosen and decided to switch or to stick to Twitch.
I see.
He's D-Life phobic.
And I believe Arya was saying as well that she wants to stick to Twitch.
Oh, okay.
But that might change after tonight. Who knows?
Well, tonight she's gonna be on both.
Right.
And the concern last time was that we would get kicked off of Twitch because Arya was planning on being topless.
Right.
And the Twitch rules on like community guidelines, as they call them, for nudity and that kind of thing are not clear at all when it comes to toplessness on the platform.
Right.
You can interpret it to where basically no nudity, including male nipples, is even allowed. But on the other hand, we've done topless episodes of Free Talk Live during the summertime. It gets hot.
Right.
And
I was not there.
You were not. And there's no obligation to be topless. In fact, you would probably violate whatever rules there are because you're arguably a female. And I haven't checked for myself, so I'm just going to say that it's believed. And I suspect the Twitch administrators would believe you're a female as well. But what happens when a trans person takes their top off on video? Does that put them in an awkward situation where on one hand they want to be accepting and welcoming to trans people, on the other hand, is this female toplessness if the person identifies as female, or is it still male toplessness and therefore okay? Which is why I wouldn't blame them if their policy was no nipples from anybody whatsoever, but it's not clear that that's what their policy is. No nudity is allowed.
It's too bad we don't know anybody locally who has the wherewithal and the courage to come on who is a I'm very tired.
Female to male?
Yes. Who could then
I don't know.
Also go topless and say, but I identify as male, so they're male nipples.
Right, whose breasts are bigger? I mean, is it the size? Is it the areola only offensive on females?
And then have you do the stream together so that if Twitch ever says something that they have to explain one way or the other, and they have to clarify, well, which one is it? Is it the male identifying or the female identifying person that caused the issue?
I suspect they would not feel they had to explain any of those things and would probably just shut you down without explanation.
I have a feeling the media would tell them otherwise.
Well, yeah, that is part of the that is kind of part of the troll, is to set them up to ban a trans person and then make hay out of it,
right?
Essentially. So the smart thing to do from their part would be to leave the stream alone, and that's actually what they ended up doing last time. So if you tune in over at dlive.lrn.fm or twitch.lrn.fm. So if you want the HD, it's on Twitch. If you want the SD quality, the normal lower resolution, DLive's got that. And that's actually a good thing because some people do want the choice. Some people, they don't have the bandwidth to handle 720p on Twitch, so DLive gives them an option. So that's coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern time or just after 10 p.m. Eastern on those streams, so stay tuned for that. On our internet video streams, we continue with more from the Jacobin, Johnson, the story you brought in about workers, and I'm not really sure what else, so we'll get into it on Free Talk Live. I haven't read the story. 855-450 free, and your calls and thoughts are welcome here on Free Talk Live.
The United States of Empire is a book that claims the United States is the empire of the world. George Washington had warned us against foreign wars. The United States of Empire shows that World Wars I and II left England broken. Its former colony, the U.S., had to save the empire. Was there ever a vote? Who do we fight for? The deep state began with World War I. The United States of Empire by James Dunn. Available at Amazon Books.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your get intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll free here. Bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. With you tonight, by the way, it's Ian.
I'm Laurel.
And I'm Johnson.
And we're going to your phone calls, then more to the story that Johnson brought to share with us tonight about the workers. But first, let's go to Foxy G on the line here. And I apologize, I should have screened you to make sure your audio was good, but hoping that it'll work out. Foxy G, are you with us?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, actually, it worked out. Good. Welcome.
I take a little bit of pride in my audio setup here, so I appreciate any feedback.
You've done well, and you apparently found us again tonight on DLive. I saw you come into the chat room saying, LRN's here?
Yeah, man, it's been wild. I don't know if you saw my chat. I know a bunch of you guys from the old Porkfest days. I met you guys almost 9 years ago.
Damn.
At Porkfest 2010. I still have the I saw Make It Hot t-shirt that nice. I believe Johnson made, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's hanging in my closet right now.
That's fantastic.
Small world.
You know
man.
what's funny? I never got one of those.
One of the shirts you made?
Yeah, one of the shirts I made. I never got one.
Oh, well. Can't win them all.
Just I don't know, back in February I started streaming over here, so I'm kind of on the same boat with you guys. I don't stream on Twitch, I stream over on Mixer, and then I heard about this new platform that runs off of the blockchain, and I said, I gotta check this out. And sure enough, like this has become my new home.
Really?
And
why is it better? What was it that made you decide to go with DLive?
I don't want to use the word better. I want to use the word different. And the reason I say that is because you have your hardcore gamers out there. That's all they care about. Over here on DLive, the actual D itself stands for decentralized.
Are you sure about that? Because that's what we speculated, but we weren't sure. I don't know if any of us ever saw it written anywhere.
The marketing director told me that, so I feel like I believe him, but he might have just been blowing smoke a little bit there too. At the same time, who knows? As far as I'm concerned, that's what it means to me.
We still haven't been able to find any kind of like program that's like the equivalent of a full node. So for listeners that aren't familiar in the world of cryptocurrency, like Bitcoin, for instance, there are about 10 or 11,000 what they call full nodes. These are people that have a copy of the entire blockchain, which is every transaction that's ever occurred. That's the ledger, basically. They've got that copy of that, which is like 200 gigabytes right now. It's huge. It just keeps getting bigger because it just keeps getting added to. So you got to have a lot of space and the ability to run this thing. But we couldn't find anything like that for DLive. Have you been shown any tools like that to kind of like add your server or your computer to the network?
Not specifically for binding purposes or anything like that. As far as I understand it, they have a certain amount of I guess they call them validators.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get to that level after you have a certain amount of locked Lino points, as well as what I guess I should call liquid Lino points. So there's kind of a difference between the two. Every time you get a certain amount of Lino points, you can lock them in, and then you can't use them anymore to say tip a streamer that you like or give to somebody else. It basically just locks it in to the point where you're collecting more Lino points off of a certain percentage that was gifted to other streamers during that day.
And these are, by the way, the points you're talking about are the cryptocurrency or the purported cryptocurrency that's behind the DLive platform. So they've also said that people that have these locked points will be able to participate in like a decentralized autonomous organization or some sort of decision-making apparatus. Have you been introduced to that since you've been around since February on this platform? Does that exist yet?
Yep. And so far I've been asked one question. It's the same question every time I go to claim my locked points rewards. So they're still working on that. It is, as you mentioned earlier, it's a very new platform, so they're still working on a lot.
Right, as I understand it, it's still in what they call a test net status, meaning that they're taking real money. Like you can buy these Lino points with a credit card, with PayPal, with other cryptocurrencies. So they're taking real money in and they're handing out these Lino points, and then in reverse they're handing out real money in return for the Lino points. So it's an effective, it's a working system. But it's not to the point where you can actually take the Lino points and go on a Bitcoin exchange and exchange them outside of the DLive system. So it does seem to be a very early concept, and they've been around for like a year from what I understand it. So they must have thought they were ready for prime time by bringing over, PewDiePie, the #1 YouTube channel. It's a huge, to be able to poach the #1 anything.
He's got 90 million subscribers.
Yeah. It's crazy. So that's cool, man. That's cool that we met you at the Porcupine Freedom Festival. Any plans to...
what if T-Series also jumps ship next?
They're up there. They're up on DLive.
Oh, they already are?
Yeah, see, I'd never heard of them before like a few days ago. This is the channel that's been competing with PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Yeah, on DLive the other day, I think it was Vincent who pointed it out to me. He said there was like a top 2, and the T-Series was like, they had topped PewDiePie for like a few hours or something like that. So
on DLive already?
Yeah, on DLive.
Oh my God! So the fight continues on DLive.
So can you explain this fight for listeners that you sound like you know a thing or two about it?
Yeah, so they've been going back and forth.
These are 2 YouTube channels that have been fighting.
Yeah, at 93 million subscribers, and I guess now across platforms there are 94. They're almost to 95 million subscribers each
on YouTube.
I think it's now they're calculating it on the combined platform.
Oh, I see. Combined. Okay.
And there are people who are subscribing to PewDiePie, not so much because they're fans, but because they support the whole idea of an independent creator. PewDiePie is really just one guy. For a long time, it was just one guy. And then I think not too long ago, he hired
an assistant or
two
something.
people, I think, for camera work and editing. But it's really, it's PewDiePie. Whereas T-Series is a big company.
Is it?
It was, yes, it's a big company in
What do they
India.
do? Is it like a gaming like they play video games on T-Series?
Music videos.
Ah.
They're Bollywood music videos, like that Bollywood videos and music videos from India. Which makes absolutely no sense that they would have a huge international audience, because the world mostly speaks English.
That's true.
Not Hindi or, whatever.
So, Foxy G, were you just calling to talk shop?
I pretty much wanted to welcome you guys to DLive and
thanks.
let you know it's very exciting to see you guys streaming over here. There's a lot of other freedom-oriented streams that have been popping up since PewDieception, as we've been calling it. So bring it on. I'm looking forward to checking in on you guys every night.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And hopefully they'll keep us out of the mature dungeon, because the one thing that has been, if there's any disappointment for me with DLive, was that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, our stream was locked to the mature option. And that meant that we don't show on the main page by default, because anybody that's mature is by default not shown. You have to throw a little toggle switch to see and it's not an easy to find toggle switch necessarily. It's kind of pretty small. And so I contacted their tech support over the weekend, and it took them a couple days because I'm sure they're loaded with requests with the influx of new users. But they did finally get back to me, and they said that you're not on the mature tag anymore. So just make sure you follow the rules. But one of the rules on DLive is political talk is supposed to be labeled as mature. Doesn't matter what you're talking, what your opinion is, you're supposed to be labeled as mature.
As long as they're doing it for everybody. As long as all political points of view are
my
mature.
argument is we are not a political talk show, because we are anti-politics typically. We're mostly find the Republicans and Democrats and such to be despicable. Politicians I consider to be some of the worst human beings on the planet. So, I don't think that was going to persuade them, but they did take the tag off, so I'm happy about that, and I'm hoping that, maybe with this decentralized autonomous organization that they're working on, maybe that rule can get voted away or can be removed at some point. So that's my hope. But otherwise, I've had a positive experience so far. So Foxy G, thanks for the call tonight, man. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys.
Check his channel out over there on DLive. What is it? DLive.tv/what? /FoxyG. There you go. We got more coming up here, and you can join us. And hopefully Foxy G is going to get on up to Forkfest. And since he went to Porkfest a decade ago, check out forkfest.party to learn more about the upcoming Liberty Camping event that will be decentralized with no tickets, no bureaucrats, no board of directors. More coming up.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISSparis.com.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The Free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. TheMorganReport.com. TheMorganReport.com.
Pain in my neck, back, and shoulders has really gotten worse.
Relief for body pain is here with Sunny Bay heating pads.
Well, the last thing I want is to take another pill, so what's so good about Sunny Bay heating pads?
Sunny Bay heating pads, made by Biomed DB Design right here in the USA, come in all sizes. Our extra large microwavable heating pad for back pain is designed to be large enough to cover your entire back. It's also perfect to wrap around your legs, knees, or shoulder and neck.
But I need to know they're good quality.
Of course, Sunny Bay Bay heating pads and pillows are often an Amazon choice, and it's easy and most affordable when you purchase your Sunny Bay heating pads right from our website, sunshinepillows.com, or call us 253-678-1361.
Hey, a Sunny Bay heating pad
would make a great gift, right?
Yes, and they start at just $19.99 and free shipping is available. So call 253-678-1361 or shop for your Sunny Bay heating pad at sunshinepillows.com.
Hey guys, Mark Claire here, lionsofliberty.com, where we strive to advance the ideas of liberty daily. We bring you the Morning Roar. That's right, every Monday to Friday we'll have a brand new edition of the Morning Roar, where we provide a roundup of some news stories that you may not find in the mainstream media or even in your typical social media newsfeed. We find stories that relate to the ideas of liberty and provide you with our liberty perspective on them. Every Monday, we have our longest-running feature, Mondays with Murray, named after the great libertarian Murray Rothbard, where we'll examine an article or an excerpt from his works and help convey his view, along with our little spin as well. We wrap it all up every Friday with Felony Friday, where our own John Odermatt goes out and takes a look at some sort of felony. There's felonies committed every day, you know, whether it's a felony committed by the police, a politician, or even an average citizen. You can find all of this and so much more over at lionsofliberty.com. Advancing the ideas of liberty daily.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free, and bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We do have the Discord on-air call-in line room over at discord.lrn.fm. There's 4 of them, actually, so hop into any one of those. We'll notice you there, and then we'll get you on the air with here with us, and that's including me, Ian.
I'm Laurel.
I'm Johnson.
Don't forget to join us online over at freetalklive.com. Don't forget we also have our live video streams, as I said, Aria Uncensored up next at dlive.lrn.fm and twitch.lrn.fm for those of you.
And don't forget to buy T-shirts.
Oh, thanks for the reminder on that. Over at, spacing.
LibertyMinded.com.
LibertyMinded, thank you. LibertyMinded.com. As what's going on over there right now?
Nothing really new. I mean, I'm still just selling the same products. I haven't added anything new yet, but official Free Talk Live merchandise. And,
it's still there.
It is still there.
And it is available. We got hoodies. We got T-shirts.
Offensive, police-hating, and socialist-hating products that are there if you want to trigger some people.
Is it hating when you're just
not really
making
hating.
Fun of them?
Not hating. I shouldn't say there's... The police one is going to earn you some hate, probably, if you're wearing it.
Set people off.
Yeah, but, there's just some triggering there. But there's some, one of the ones that's popular is the circular reasoning of government. I've got that one, which is this concentric circles of words. Circular logic. So those are there, and I will be adding more soon as I get time. I've just been swamped.
He is Johnson, and you can find him over at libertyminded.com. Some great T-shirts available for cryptocurrency, plus credit cards and PayPal.
Cryptos.
That stuff, too. libertyminded.com, and we continue. Johnson, you were telling us about this article from the Jacobin. It's about the workers in the United States. Where did we leave off? We didn't get too far in.
So I'm going to just start over the paragraph that I was at. The OECD produces a number of page-turning taxing wages publications each year that permit this sort of cross-country comparison. So again, they're trying to compare what the actual amount that people are paying in taxes in different countries. Most of these publications focus on converting formal labor taxes into a standardized format that allows researchers to calculate comparable labor tax wedges across the various tax schemes. But formal taxes are limited because they omit non-tax compulsory payments, NTCPs. NTCPs are payments workers and employers are legally compelled to pay private parties.
So like the retirement package.
Sure.
NTC 401k, as they call it.
And Social Security, and I think all that stuff as well. NTCPs are no different from taxes, except that.
Well, no, they wouldn't qualify as Social Security because they're talking about private companies.
Oh, right.
So they're specifically talking about like retirement, dental, or whatever.
Right. So NTCPs are no different from taxes, except that NTCPs are made to private corporations like health insurance companies rather than to the government. So I guess even if you're paying, automatically to a health insurance company, that would be considered, forced payments.
But weren't the socialists the people who rallied to have health insurance coverage?
That's what I'm saying. This article doesn't necessarily make the point that you'd think it would.
Okay.
Occasionally, the OECD publishes the information that combines the formal taxes and NTCPs together in order to allow researchers to compare compulsory payment rates across countries. The last time they did this is in 2018. The 2018 OECD publication acknowledges that employer health insurance premiums in the United States are NTCPs because they are mandated under Obamacare's employer and individual mandates. But the publication nevertheless excludes employer health premiums from its U.S. NTCP calculations because the authors say these premiums cannot be modeled to their satisfaction. The apparent reason these mandated premiums are incompatible with the OECD's taxing wages model is that they are open-ended payments. Employers and employees have to buy private insurance regardless of its cost. If the mandated premiums were set by law as a fixed sum per worker or a percentage of payroll, as in other countries, then they could be included in the figures. The OECD.
So is that what they're asking for?
They're advocating socialized medicine, basically.
Yeah,
they're saying that there should be a set amount per worker for healthcare coverage, is what they're saying there.
Well, they're just trying to document exactly what workers are paying, and he's kind of going in. He's laying out what he's done to actually show these tax rates, what the overall tax rate is, including these NTCPs. So. Here's the kind of crux. He says the OECD may not be able to include employer-based health insurance premiums into its model, but I certainly can. And when I add them into the OECD model, I find that the average American worker has one of the highest compulsory payment rates in the developed world.
Well, this comes back around to what we were talking. Like I said, this might tie in with Laurel's story without having read it, and it does. Because we were talking about the market power, this measurement that I'd never heard of before, but measuring how much above a competitive level they could charge, they can increase their profits, that they can just arbitrarily increase the amount of profit that they're making on whatever. Basically, you've got a similar situation here where these health insurance companies are given guaranteed audience or guaranteed customers because everybody who works is forced into paying into one of these systems. And so they can just charge whatever they want to charge, basically.
I'm going to try and skip around a little bit to simplify this. I mean, he basically goes into talking about how coverage is broken down, single payer, but paid by the employer or by the employee. He's talking about how you can compute a compulsory payment rate that is comparable to the compulsory payment rate the OECD produces for other countries. Basically, he says, to be clear about what I'm doing here, the following graph provides a detailed breakdown of the difference between what we normally think of as the employee taxes and the OECD concept of compulsory payments. This is a graph for a married wage earner with 2 kids who earns the average wage and has a family insurance plan through their employer. And it basically shows the different like employee tax, labor tax, and then with compulsory payments. And you see that with the compulsory payments, it's like 4 times as large. We're talking like
as the compulsory taxes.
Yeah, like the employee tax is below 10,000. With the labor tax, it's above 10,000. With all the compulsory payments, it's above 30,000.
Wow.
You know,
and this is for one person?
Yeah, that's for one. A married worker with 2 kids.
Okay.
So yeah, one person, but
Gotcha.
married with 2 kids. If you're going to count employer-side payroll taxes and employer premium contributions towards the labor tax burden, then you're also going to need to count those things as worker pay.
Sure. So like the 13.5% or whatever that goes to Social Security. There's a chunk of that, half of it, that is taken out before it makes it to the paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
That's money that they would otherwise be paying the worker if they weren't forced to, because they have to allocate that money to that worker. That's part of their payroll.
Yep.
And so they're willing to pay that to have you employed. You just don't you don't see it. It doesn't even show up on your paycheck.
So he makes another graph here that mirrors the one above, except it shows what the average wage really is when you count all the employer's labor costs, not just the cash that it pays to the employee. So it shows like if you were just paying wages, the employee makes a little bit, like $52,000 a year or something like that. But if you
after taxes, after all the extractions.
That might be that's their gross wages.
Okay.
And then their gross wages, if you add the employer tax in, it's like 58,000, something like that. And then if you add in the plus employer premium, then it's up above $70,000 a year.
And that includes the health insurance and
all the
if we
premiums.
didn't have to pay all of these taxes and government mandated things, we'd be making $70,000 a year.
If you were an average American, essentially.
And if you could keep all that money and then go shopping for insurance,
imagine that.
Then what would that do to the prices?
But I don't know if they're trying to make that point. Even though it seems extremely obvious and clear,
right,
I don't think that this commie publication is trying to make this point.
No, he already advocated what he wanted earlier. He wanted a set amount to come out of every employee's paycheck.
Yeah. So he says, finally, we can divide each labor tax concept by each pay concept to show the difference between what we often think of as the employee tax rate and the actual compulsory payment rate, the share of labor compensation going to tax and NTCPs.
Well, if he were a true communist, he would be advocating for the elimination of paychecks and just having everybody just do work for the sake of work.
So this is insane. Employee tax, 14%, right? That's what the average employee is paying tax. Labor tax, 21%. Compulsory payments, 43%.
Wow.
That's the rate that's being paid. The comprehensive measure.
Well, this is what people wanted, right? They wanted to not have to think. They wanted to not have to, let me just get a job and then all my, healthcare needs will be covered and I won't have to actually shop around and I won't have to, figure anything out.
This is why I don't like people getting health insurance through employment. I think we should stop doing that altogether.
It's a terrible plan.
Because it discourages people from being self-employed.
Yeah, so this puts it in perspective that in America how bad it actually is. This is like it's funny that they're finding this like real figure that compares us to Europe. The comprehensive measure shows that a married couple with 2 kids that makes the average wage pays over 43% of their income in compulsory payments of one sort or another. Health premiums are 26.4% of the 43.2 points.
It's brutal.
There's more to this article. I mean, well, I'll hand it over to you or whatever.
Yeah, we'll share it on the social medias over at twitter.freetalklive.com.
We're only behind the Netherlands in how much we pay of our income.
toot.freetalklive.com for our Mastodon and telegram.freetalklive.com. We'll see you tomorrow.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm.